Hello and welcome to the Breaking Free podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Francis. And tonight, I'm very grateful, very humble to be joined by Natasha Orange. Natasha Orange is a 21-year-old. She's super powerful. So for those out there that are in their 20s and a bit younger, you are powerful. Natasha's very, very powerful. We spoke for the last probably half an hour off air, and that was just mind-blowing. So Tasha's awesome. So what Natasha has done is she's quit social media, and that's a really big thing. Well, even in my age group and Natasha's as well, it's like, social media is this really big thing in the world at the moment. It's a massive distraction, as we all know. So Natasha's quit social media. She has a YouTube channel. So link to that in the bottom where she's pretty much saying, social media detoxing is a thing. And she's encouraging a lot of young people, her age and younger, and even my age too, to just turn your back on that stuff. So Natasha, you must have a really awesome story. I haven't heard too much about it because I want to hear it live like everyone else. Welcome to my show tonight. I'm really looking forward to this chat. Let's delve into your story, eh? I'm looking forward to this.
Cool. Thank you so much.
The first question would be, Natasha, tell people who you are, obviously, and how did you quit social media and why did you quit social media? So take it away.
Yep. Cool. Yes, I am Tash Orange. How did I quit social media? Well, it started when I was 14. I was probably in year 7 or 8. And I remember I was having Instagram, I had Facebook, I had
all the
Snapchat.
usuals.
Yeah, all the usuals back in the day.
Yep.
And I remember looking at some girl's photo. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh no, I lost my phone.
So you're looking at some photos, right?
Yeah. And I remember seeing this girl in my year's photo, and she had her booty out, boobs out. She was like this majestic way of her body. She was just all over the place, and I remember thinking, wow, this is really going to be the start of something on social media, because I only was following friends in my year. I was only following my family, like my cousins, people that were pretty close to me, and people that were of a range, like no one that I didn't know. And I remember feeling like this competitive emotion with this photo. And I kind of sat with that for a while, maybe like a few months after. For some reason, it just didn't leave my mind. And, all these photo after photo after photo, this like competitive rise. I literally saw social media kind of rise. Because that's when it all started, around when I was 14, 15. So, I remember thinking, first of all, this isn't where I want to head. I don't want to try and make myself feel fake to be of the likes of other people. And that's something that I think growing up, my family has always drilled into me, be who you are. Don't change who you are for anyone else. Always have grounding. And that's something that's like really stuck with me even to this day. And it's very emotional to talk about because it's very vulnerable, and it's something that will always stick with me. And I just kind of took that through my life until now, and I just realized that social media is just not the route that I kind of want to go down, being with this competitive market of influencers and other people that try and one up you, and just seeing people for who they are.
I love that. I love all of what you just shared there. It's so awesome and so powerful to hear someone so young talking about this stuff. So obviously what you saw was and you were obviously wanting to compete with them in terms of like an element of like jealousy, or like what was that?
Yeah, jealousy.
Yeah.
And I'm like honest to say it, because I feel like,
Love that.
you know, I feel like people at that age, if you were to say that you're jealous of someone, people look at you like it's almost like a put down. You know, this is a normal thing. Like, you do feel jealous of someone else that's stronger than you, that's prettier than you. And you have to kind of move through that in order to feel grounded.
That's so, yeah, I love what you're saying there, because the beauty, like your own unique version of beauty, you don't need to be someone that you're not, just be you. And I love how you said about your family saying, just be you. That's a real big thing out there, because a lot of like women, especially like your age, are like trying to be someone that they're not, aren't they?
And it's so heart-wrenching to see. Like women with Botox, yeah, it kind of hits pretty deep for me, actually. Because you're born with such a natural beauty. Like, that's who you are. That's who you should seriously like show to people, you know, your imperfections.
Yeah. Nah, it's just awesome. So obviously how long did you have social media for before you went, I quit? And then what prompted you to start speaking up about it too?
I had social media for about a year.
Yep.
And I think like throughout the year I was thinking about it. I remember thinking that Instagram was the worst. Because you're kind of looking at photos of people a lot more like intimately, kind of, you know.
Yeah, no, keep going. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true,
Yeah,
especially for men too. Yeah.
Instagram, the worst. Instagram is the worst in my opinion. So I got rid of Instagram. I think it was only like half a year. So I had Instagram for half a year, and then I had Snapchat and the rest for the rest of the year. And I think what made me really go cold turkey was I had this kind of little relationship going. And he and I were dating for like 8 months, maybe 8 months. I don't know. And we broke up, and he was posting photos of him and his new girls and all these photos of him looking really good, and I just didn't want to see that anymore. And instead of blocking him, I had this big moment of realization, and I was like, what's the difference of him, you know, trying to feel like he's more important than all the other guys out there, or like trying to show that he has girls, or trying to show off is what I'm trying to say. What's the difference between him and everyone else on here that's trying to be so competitive? And so I just went, right, I'm going off. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am going off, and I'm going to just experience life, and I'm going to talk to people for the genuineness of it, and I'm going to just live grounded. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just like blocking the dude, yeah. No, well, you can do that. I'm gonna quit it. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it ended. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, looking back on that now, you say grounded. There's some people on here that will listen that know what you're talking about. There's some people that may not. So grounded. How did you even come to that terminology, actually?
I definitely learnt a bit of spirituality along the way. But it was kind of this overwhelming feeling of I don't feel myself, and I need to start looking to feel myself. and social media is just in the way.
Yeah.
It really is. And it was so clear, but I could just never at the time push myself over the line. And it's so in front of your face, but people just can't kind of move forward doing that.
So how did you move forward with that then? Obviously you just used to delete social media, but how did you come to terms with that grounding word? It's like, you know, what is grounding actually? Yeah, what is grounding to you?
Grounding is kind of like letting go of everything around you and just focusing on your core values,
Love it.
how you feel. Like, even if you don't exactly feel yourself, you're still feeling yourself. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Sometimes people, they're like, oh, I just, I don't know myself. I don't know this. I don't know that. But like, this is your journey. This is how you are finding yourself. And you need to not be afraid of that. You just need to kind of ride the wave.
100%. 100%. Ride the wave.
Journey.
Yeah, it is. It is a beautiful journey. And we all have that moment where, you know, it's like not really a crossroad, but, you know, it's like that moment where you go, well, this is where I'm heading. You know, we keep doing the things we're doing. This is where we're heading, but then there's something great over here, but it involves grounding and releasing, letting go, and going deep with yourself too, and getting to the root cause of some things, some traumas and stuff. And then that can propel you forward. But you feel 100%. Like you're going backwards, don't
you? Yeah, exactly. And you kind of lose your momentum because you feel like you don't know where you're going. But really, like, you are going.
Correct.
you are moving.
Yeah.
It's so hard to distinguish. Yeah.
It's so refreshing to hear a 21-year-old talk about this really deep stuff. It's really, really powerful that you've learned some of this stuff, or most of this stuff, to be like, this is. So for you with the social media, so a lot of young people out there will go, well, how's she communicating with her friends? How's she, you know, obviously you must value that human face-to-face connection.
Yeah. So I was just sticking to phone numbers.
Yeah.
So I, when I deleted it, I said to all my friends, I'm making sure I have each and every one of your phone numbers. And I just text them if I needed anything. And it sounds weird to a lot of people to just say that. It really does. Like, what? You just text? It's so strange. But I did. That's what I did. And it was awesome. After a couple months, it was just a normal. Yeah, so simple.
So then obviously that happened, you quit, you got the numbers and stuff. And then what prompted you to start speaking about this stuff and going public with it? Because the YouTube channel is awesome. So what sort of started off you going, well, I'm going to do a YouTube channel and just start speaking? Because that's a really brave thing to do, and credit to you for doing it at such a young age.
It's a very vulnerable topic. 100%.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. I remember I was thinking about sharing knowledge when I was in the 5th year, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't want to kind of dip my toe into YouTube. I didn't want to dip my toe into like any social media platform.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's just my brain trying to relapse or something. I remember thinking, if I go into it, then I'm going to get hooked again. And that's not what I want. Not yet. Like, because you gotta, like, sharing the knowledge. I had to be in this mindset where I can share this knowledge, but I can't get too greedy about if I get views, or if I want to post videos to like be cool, or like get into that competitive mindset again. YouTube, it's like it can be very competitive.
It's only competitive if you make it competitive. If you just be you and speak from the heart and be authentic like the way you are,
Exactly.
like people will follow anyway. And it looks like people are following.
Yeah. So,
and you've spoken really, really well so far. You're doing a really, really awesome job. This is an awesome chat. So we'll keep going. Yeah, because then people fear that speaking up stuff. I know for me, I did too for a long time. I just went with it in the end. I was like, well, I want to start this thing, so let's just go with it. But for you, did you have any like deep fears that came up when you first held up your camera or whatever you had?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm naturally an introvert. So it is like a very big thing for me to even sit in front of a camera and just have me talk. It's just something I'm like not really used to at all. But I just had this like you said at the start, this power to share. I just needed like younger people to really hear this from me, and I just feel like I have this experience to guide people, and it like I said, it's very vulnerable, and it's something that it's almost new, like this way of living. It's not really the way of living anymore.
No.
And yeah, I want to kind of normalize that. Yeah.
I like it because we've become so reliant on that technology, social media stuff, haven't we? Where we haven't gone back to nature and stuff that's real. Like this is a replica of nature. You know what I mean? Like that's where this technology is going. It's like it's either you walk the path of tech or you walk the path of nature.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've made your choice.
Yeah. Nature can teach us a lot.
Absolutely, it can.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we are kind of steering away from as a society, which is really sad.
Because people are so reliant on this technology. They're so reliant on their Instagram followers and their Snapchat friends and their likes and their comments and it's their only way of putting stuff out there and expressing. It's like, well, you don't necessarily need this stuff, do you? Like I use this as just as a promotional tool. That's all I use my social media for. But I could one day just turn my back on it with your help. So yeah, it's interesting.
With my coaching?
Yeah. So with your social media stuff, so have you had people reach out and ask for some help with their social media? Have you found that people are? I find it too. People are overusing this thing. Have you had people reach out and talk to you about their social media struggles?
Oh yeah, like I've had a lot of comments that are asking, like if I delete it, what do I do? Like how do I go about this? I deleted it for 2 weeks. Now what do I do?
Interesting.
Others are like, yeah, I've deleted it for 4 years now and I'm still going strong. There's quite a variation of people that have reacted to my video that I posted on YouTube.
Interesting. So is there anything else you're willing to share about your story, Natasha? Is there anything else you're willing to share?
Yeah, I think if you are considering, like if you do feel this pressure of social media, and it is very evident that you feel it, and it's so easy to just put it at the back of your mind and not think about it. I think you should definitely act upon it, because it's your brain literally telling you something right now that it might not be for you. And if you do try to delete it, make sure you keep yourself busy, because the first week you'll feel fine, but then there will be like this kick of loneliness that comes into it. And everyone that I've spoken to that's deleted social media feels it. It's like this universal disattachment or like withdrawal. Yeah, I think I explained in my video, it's almost like a drug.
You did. It's
Yeah.
also boredom too. Would you agree? Like boredom, like when people are bored, well, what do? They check their phone, they they scroll, don't they? And for me, when I was bored, I used to put porn on, but that's another story for another time. But
I was literally
boredom.
just thinking that. I was like, if you're bored, what do you do?
Exactly.
And yeah, that's definitely an option.
But if people are being creative and doing what we're both doing, like I write blogs and did different things to be creative, like I'm not ever bored.
Yeah.
And
preparation.
Preparation. Do you journal? Do you do different things as well? Like what do you do when you're bored? Because obviously you're not scrolling.
Yeah. I do a lot of music in my spare time. Yeah. That's my main thing.
Do you sing? Do you make music?
Yeah, I make music, sing.
Awesome.
My boyfriend, he plays guitar, so we kind of jam together
cool.
a lot. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Not a lot of people do. I just do it because it feels nice. It's just something that, it's just a hobby of mine. I love doing sports. I love being active.
That's good.
Yeah. And yeah, getting back to the social media thing, definitely preparation. You have to have these hobbies to be able to move forward. You have to, I think I definitely did journal, like what I can do in my spare time. So like right now, what I can do in my spare time: music, surfing, singing, just randomly, cooking. Like just write out a bunch of things that you love to do, and just start to re-puzzle your life.
Love that.
Yeah. Because it's so doable. You just need to kind of get into your routine.
What do you think? What do you believe stopping people from doing that, Natasha? We all have a different interpretation of it. I'd love to know yours.
It's
then
definitely
we can talk
a personal thing. I've thought about this a lot, actually. It's not a universal. It's not a universal thing. For me, it was the jealousy. It was the competition, and I'm honest to say that, because not a lot of people are.
No.
And this is why I'm kind of opening this up, because this should be so normalized.
A lot of people are like in fear of speaking up for numerous reasons, you know what I mean? Where they'd be they would freeze, right? When you go up and do your presentation in different, whatever, you know. Before I started this, I froze a couple of times because I had a little version of me that wasn't worthy enough of speaking up. So I'm talking about inner child here. Have you gone back to your inner child?
Yeah.
Do you even know what that is?
Definitely. No, definitely.
Good.
Which is almost a part of being grounded as well.
Yeah, bang on.
Yeah, you really have to tune into that inner child, like growing up. It's purity. Yeah. And you really so have to cherish that. You can't, I mean, I don't want to tell people what they can or can't do, but don't Botox your lips because like you're born with who you are, and like you should be so happy and you should cherish that so much, because
100%.
it's all about grounding and being.
So how do you ground? Do you just go out in nature and kick your shoes off? Do you like meditate? How do you ground? So when you've had a hard day, you know what I mean? Like you're a bit stressed or whatever, like you're not gonna turn. Do you drink and stuff too? Like how do you ground?
There's this amazing trick that my friend used to teach me, and it was before I would go on stage singing. And she said, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and sink in.
That's
and drop
cool.
your shoulders. Yeah. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, drop your shoulders, and sink in.
Deep breathe.
Yeah, you can do whatever. You just need to
Good technique.
Sink.
And it's just like relaxes your whole body. Yeah. I just did it then. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good technique for anyone out there listening. I like that.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. It really just kind of brings you to the minute, you know?
Yeah, it brings you back like relaxed and whole, and you just, I like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So if there's a young person out there listening right now, which there probably would be, even someone a bit older too, you just never know. What would be your advice to them to start their journey in whatever it is, quitting social media as an example? Could be anything. Could be starting their journey on healing, or what would be your advice to someone that's might have been where you were? You know what I mean? Like they're sitting in the Instagram influencer jealousy.
Find your intent. Find your intent. Really reflect on your values in life, like your true values. You need to really, like I said, sink in to who you are and what your potential traumas might be and your fears, and just look at yourself as a whole, and then it'll be almost evident to you that social media could be pulling you back, or you might just need to change some things in your life to stop your time on social media.
That's awesome. It's a really cool piece of advice. That's really good. We should cut that up and make that a little video. That was really good. I was going to ask you another couple of questions, and we'll probably wrap things up soon. What was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you something else. I had something come to my mind. Oh yeah. So with all of this stuff, so let's talk about it. So you obviously quit social media cold turkey. A lot of people won't do that. So would you recommend like maybe a couple of days and then see how you go? Or do you just say, hey, look, make the break? We're all different, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, we are all different. I remember seeing some comments from my video saying very different things. Some people went cold turkey and some people weaned off of it. It really is so situational. Because even Instagram, like I went off Instagram 6 months before I went off anything else. So that was because it felt so right in me that I didn't want to see like people's feeds anymore. I didn't want any of that. So that's why I got rid of it. But I still had this kind of umbrella of other medias until the big moment of, right, I'm not going to have any of this anymore, and got rid of it. And that's still intent. So I honestly think if you find your intent and you really sit down with yourself and figure out not who you are, but just what you want to be, who you are.
Yeah,
who you are, who you want to be. You'll definitely find a way to find your own path in deleting it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
I can't really say a definitive.
No, but we can all do this, all right? But all that stuff's there as a distraction from doing what you're doing. Going with what your goals are and what your ambitions are and how to change. Like we are so programmed to not do that, and it's unreal that you broke free from that.
Yeah, and what I'm definitely learning is that I can't tell people this is how you do it. I have to guide people into, here's the blueprint. Now you have to figure out how you do your journey. like this isn't universal almost. Like some of it is, but most of it is situational and most of it is inner feeling. And I think that's where people either get very lazy or they just don't want to face it head on and figure it out.
What's stopping people from doing that? Is it fear?
So that's always the question.
Is it fear?
I think it is fear. I think it is fear. For a lot of cases, it is.
Fear of being different, fear of being something that it's uncomfortable, yeah.
Fear of a new thing that hasn't really come out in society before. You know, some people are too afraid to be different in the nicest way possible.
Because they're going to be judged?
Yeah.
Ridiculed?
Yeah.
Laughed at, maybe?
Yeah. A lot of people have said to me that they're too afraid they're going to get bullied.
What be your message to those people that are too afraid right now?
Own it. Own it.
This is great.
Absolutely own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's you. Just like if you have that feeling to do it, own it. Yeah.
I often talk about too, we only get one chance here. Well, we actually get multiple if you want to go woo-woo, but we only get one chance to do what we want to do. And I talk about being on your deathbed and being in that regret of not doing the X, Y, Z that you wanted to do, not taking the opportunities or living in the regret of not doing it. And people often fear that, but then they're in that situation. So it's like, take that chance. Especially if you're our age, doesn't matter how old you are, you can be 89 listening to this and you still take that chance. How do you see that too? You're obviously doing it now, so you're going to lay on your deathbed and be like, this is pretty awesome what I just did. Well, what a life that was. But what be your, like, do you see that as well? It's like we all fear being in that situation, yet when it comes, we're actually there. Because we all have our choices and all have our opportunities to be better, to take. You just said it then. It was beautiful. It's like, go for it. Just do it. But there's fear there stopping that from happening, though.
I know.
And quite often what I find, it's an inner child that's blocking that from happening. Like I know for me with my writing stuff, I had a child that was told I shouldn't be writing about footy and cricket and being a hero. So I sat with that child and said, look, that was just one teacher's point of view. That was her perception. That's not mine. That's not my story. I'll sit with you and I'll rewrite your story. And then I wrote my book in 6 weeks. That's how quick this inner child stuff happens. Like, then that was like, okay, well, there's my chance. I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, I'm on my high horse going, you know, yeah, I did all this. It's like, we can all do this. We can all reparent our inner child to live the life of our dreams. But it's that inner child that doesn't believe that we're worthy of living that dream life. And then that's when you're in that regret of, oh, I could have done this, should have done that, had this chance, didn't. And then you're laying there in front of your family and friends just full of regret. We get one shot. Why not make it count, Natasha?
That inner child, that was so well said. It can sometimes be the quietest voice, and social media can just be so loud. And
100%.
Yeah, and it's so hard to even like quieten down everything because you're so addicted. It's horrible.
Yeah, and it's so programming too. And there's so much stuff on there talking about it. God knows what, like TikTok now as well.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what our young people are watching though, Natasha. They're watching TikTok. They're watching people make paper airplanes and throw them at people. They're watching people get scared, like all these things. There's so much, like I say to my clients, Natasha, if you're going to be on social media, like use it for empowerment. Watch empowering videos. Watch my videos. Watch other people's videos. It's empowering you to be better if you're going to be on there. Not looking at Instagram asses and porn stars and actors and stuff that that's all distraction. At least have some empowering content in your feed so that you're getting empowering stuff to help you be better. Would that be something, to start doing and then obviously wean off that?
I think if you had the self-discipline, that would be really good. But I think it's very easy for people to get drawn back in if it's just at the click of a button.
It is, isn't it? So easy.
Yeah. And I think some people are definitely capable of doing that though. Which
I agree.
Yeah, I've read people's experiences and they're able to do that right now. They're able to have that discipline to, yeah, like I said, it's so situational, not universal.
So obviously we're going to talk about something else here, but I want to ask you, do you do the things the young people are doing? Do you drink and party and do all those things? Like, do you do that? Is that your lifestyle or not?
No, I
didn't think so.
Yeah, I don't really drink ever.
Didn't think so.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. I don't know.
Used to be my thing, Natasha, but I stopped.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 2 years ago. Monday just gone was my last hurrah on that. So for you, obviously, everyone your age, our age, well, I'm only 8 years older than you. Everyone our age is doing this stuff. Like, for you to be 21 and not doing that, that's super. Like, are you boring? Is what the question I get asked.
Maybe I'm just an old grandma or something.
I literally get asked that question. I cop that all the time. I don't drink, and they're like, then you're boring. I'm not boring. I do some pretty cool shit, but I'm not boring. How is it for a 21-year-old? Let's delve into this. How is it for a 21-year-old to actually not drink? Do you have friends that don't as well? Like, how does this all play out for you? Like, listeners and viewers want to know. I want to know.
I have this weird way to match my friends' energy, even when they're
here we go
drunk. It's so strange. I think throughout my teens, I've always just kind of assumed that alcohol is just used to get away from something.
100%. And that's what I use it for. Yeah, well said.
Yeah. And like, there's been obviously a couple of times where I have been drunk, but I've used it to get away from something.
Like a feeling, a person, an emotion?
But yeah, just like if
yourself?
Yeah, like in a confidence way, even.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was at like a school party or something and I wanted to talk to this guy and I just keep drinking because I was too scared. I was just too scared to talk to him and I just have some liquid confidence
But this happens everywhere, doesn't it?
I know. And I've just ever since I think school, where it's only a handful of times where I've literally been drunk, I've learned that like drinking is just not for me because I just want to be myself even when others are like intoxicated because I'm still having such a good time anyway. Like I just get so high on life.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I just want to strive to like just have fun.
This is so inspiring, everyone out there. This is a 21-year-old sounding like a wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's courageous for a 21-year-old to. You should be proud of yourself, Natasha.
Thank you.
High on life's a good one, isn't it?
High on life.
My nan always said to me, you don't have to drink to have a good time. She was spot on.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I always say that actually. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, it's true. So you're saying that some of your friends still obviously drink?
Yeah, like I'll still go out like maybe to clubs or like a bar or something nice just for catching up with friends. But I won't drink. I'll just still socialize and have a dance, listen to some music, like still laugh and have a good time. Just own it.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's fun. It's good.
Oh, yeah, it's just really refreshing to hear that, because a lot of young people are doing those things, aren't they? And to have someone like you maybe speaking up about this stuff too, more so, would be really, really beneficial for people out there. I encourage people to follow Natasha on YouTube. Her link's in the bottom here. How are we going to finish this? Actually, I'm trying to think how I'm going to finish it. I love live podcasts. It's great.
I know. I would love to share.
So you've completely transformed your whole life at the age of 14.
Yeah.
That's well done.
14, 15.
Yeah. And to have a 22-year-old or 21-year-old that just like doesn't drink, doesn't do these things, but can still go out and have a good time. Credit to you. You're leading by example, and it's awesome. You're setting a really good example.
Yeah.
So to finish this podcast, to wrap it up, what can people take away from this?
Definitely inner reflection is a big thing. To do that is to feel motivation by something, either from this video, this podcast, or next time you're on social media, next time you see a bud or a boob photo on social media, it's just another kind of tick over, thinking like, oh God, this again. Kind of pay more attention to what's in front of you, and I think you'll definitely find that there'll be a lot more emotion that comes up about social media use. And yeah, it's just kind of finding your true intent, really finding your true intent.
That's a really good way to finish. Natasha, I was awesome. Like, we went pretty deep there, and I'd love to get you back on and we do this again and we talk about some other stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. That was really, really cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll tell people how this came about. I love telling stories.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed last week, and I usually get downloads from Spirit, Universe, whoever it is. Whatever people want to believe, it's Spirit for me. I'm laying in bed, and I went back through my phone, and a friend of mine sent me a message about Natasha's YouTube profile, and I clicked on it and had a look, and I was like, I need to get this woman on. And you delivered really, 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 really well done today. Thank you so much. This, hopefully people listening to this can jump onto your YouTube, watch your videos, start posting some more, Natasha. This might be a little nudge for you.
Yes, thank you. I do need a bit of a nudge.
Yeah, we'll give you a nudge. Reach out to Natasha too. If anyone's young and they're stuck on social media and stuff, Natasha can help you.
Feel free. Yeah, seriously, I'm happy to offer any guidance.
Yep, Natasha will keep an eye on the comments on this video and on the podcast as well. I'll send any questions her way and she can answer them.
Thank you so much.
No worries. So Natasha, well, you might as well give your YouTube a plug. Where can they? What's your YouTube called?
It's just Tash Orange on YouTube. If you just search that up, I'll pop up.
It'll find you pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, I found you last week, so that was easy enough. This has been the Breaking Free podcast. Your host, Nathan Francis. I've got some awesome guests coming up in the next few weeks. Natasha, you are fantastic tonight again. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching wherever in the world you are. Please reach out and ask for help. I always finish my podcast saying that, Natasha, because a lot of people don't ask for help. Reach out, ask for help. Reach out to Natasha. Reach out to me. Reach out to anyone that's been where you've been. And you can change and transform your whole life. Even if you're as young as Natasha was, you can still transform your life too. And even as old as 89, 90, you can still transform your life. And it's the most powerful thing, and asking for help can transcend, and your trajectory can be so much quicker if you do. So we're all here to become better. Let's all become better to help change the world. And Natasha, great. You're doing good things.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. I'll see you again real soon. Cheers.